We're back today with another live stream, our second live stream ever. And, I don't know what I'm doing. We're here to gain some exposure to the channel. We're here to talk business. Anything you guys might want to know. I can talk a little bit about my story, a little bit of my background. I can go into how to start your own LLC. We can get into how to come up with an idea to start your own business. So I was really digging how the live stream went yesterday. It wasn't too crazy, but it was a lot of fun. So I wanted to get out there again today, roughly the same time, for roughly about the same time. The one yesterday lasted 2 hours. It's kind of long, but live stream, it's not really. Things happen quick. The time goes by fast. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know what you want to know about business. We got a lot we can talk about. I brought my other phone, so that way in case anybody has any broader or more complex issues they want to talk about, we can actually cite our sources real quick too. But I want to know how you guys are doing today. What's up? It's a beautiful, beautiful Michigan day. Beautiful, beautiful day. So let's see. I found out yesterday for the first time that you can do green screen stuff while you're, yeah, we don't need that, while you're doing stuff, and it's pretty cool. Our democracy is extremely dangerous to our democracy. It's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, I need to add some more photos to this. I don't exactly know how. What's up, everybody joining in today? All we're doing is gaining some exposure to the channel. We want to talk about business. We want to talk about how you can start your own business, how to come up with ideas. Same thing with, thanks for the like, appreciate it. Yeah, and we want to talk about how maybe you could come up with your own ideas to start your own business. What's everybody? What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining. Yeah, everybody, hit the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on if you want to start your own business, what you guys think about business. Maybe some ideas you guys would have. We can talk about it all. Monkey Plays. What's up, buddy? Shout out. Then I'll subscribe. Right on, right on. How you doing, brother? It's good to see everybody on the channel, on the stream, saying what's up. You guys were very cool yesterday, and I had a lot of fun doing the live stream yesterday. Anybody who wants to know about business, and we're also here to talk about really any current events. We can talk about politics. I personally, once you associate yourself or your channel with politics and the political drama atmosphere, it can be somewhat brutal. But with important matters, of course, we want to be able to openly discuss these things. And so for starters, I started my own business. It was 2 years ago now, and it has been, it's had a lot of ups and downs, I tell you what. The first things first, you got to save. You got to save your money. You got to pay yourself. Pay yourself first. When I would be bringing in money, I would, if you have bills, set the bill money aside and then pay yourself. Forget about everything else. You don't need the Coca-Cola. You don't need your vape. You don't need it, okay? And that'll really help build your integrity as well, to be able to get through all of the ups and downs, because it's going to be random ups and downs. I can't pronounce that name. How you doing though? Thanks for getting on the live stream. Thanks for commenting. Hi to you. I had a lot of fun yesterday doing the live stream. I imagine a couple people might pop in here that were in here yesterday, but had a lot of fun doing it. We're out here in Michigan, as you can see. Got a nice, beautiful day. Partly cloudy. It was like 64 degrees this morning, which is pretty cold at about this time, but it's real nice now. What's up, everybody? Yeah, we're here. We want to talk about business. We want to talk about how you guys could start your own business. We want to talk about how to maybe come up with ideas, and we can actually touch on that now. So for you guys wanting to start your own business, you can come up with ideas, and one of the best ways to start is looking at your own hobbies, because a lot of people are doing something now that they could be making money on, you know, and the best way to do it. Now, there is the sole proprietor way, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, we can get into that later. But I would highly recommend anybody to get an LLC. LLCs are one of your ways to separate your business entity from yourself personally. And it's a very important and crucial step. And it's a part of forward thinking too. If you want to grow your brand, your product, yourself, you have to invest into it, and you have to think long term. There's no easy come, easy go. Okay, guys, you have to think long term. Make long-term moves. You make power moves. Make power decisions. Let there be some weight to the decisions that you're making in your life. When I started my business, I had multiple bank accounts already. I had a separate private investing firm. Shout out to Stash right now, STASH, Stash. It's a private firm. They do investing. I like them a lot. If you guys listen to the podcast or radio talk show, Invest Talk, highly recommend them. Highly recommend them. And they also mentioned Stash, and I've been using Stash for probably about 5 years or so now. And before I started the business, of course, because I had withdrawn from a lot of investing when I started the business, mainly so I could use the capital. And I didn't really have too many gains either, because investing, again, is a long-term game. Black Strike, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining. Stumble Guys game. I don't think I understand the reference, but I appreciate the comment for sure. But when I started the business, I had my investments. So I had about 6 to 7 grand in Stash. I had about 4 grand into crypto. I had about 4 grand in cash. And my savings account, I had like 11 grand almost. And my checking account, I mean, it varied, but I would say an average of like $500, nothing too crazy. I would just take money as I needed it. So I had a decent backing before I actually even started my business or even started thinking about it. Brenda Rethlake said hi. How you doing, Brenda? Thanks for joining into the live stream. It's our second live stream ever. I had a lot of fun with it yesterday. All of the comments, all of the likes and subscribes from yesterday. It's pretty cool to get out here and to actually speak to you guys, you know, not necessarily face to face, but so you can kind of see somebody in the uncut manner, you know. This is unscripted, uncut. We're just going off of the live feed here and some things that are on our minds. Yeah, man. You guys have been awesome though, for real. This journey for YouTube, you know, we're pretty much on our way to 500 subscribers. That's also a part of the live streaming and what we're trying to accomplish with it. You know, I have a really good amount of videos out there. There's one video in particular that it was my second video in the vanpreneurship sector on my channel, and it's $100 an hour load up gig app review. That video alone has gotten almost well over 13,000 views now, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind because Brenda just subbed. Hey, thanks, Brenda. That's awesome. I appreciate that. You guys are the ones that make it happen. You know, you guys are what it's about, really. Getting to know the audience, getting to know you guys, it's super cool. But, you know, as far as maybe thinking of your own idea and thinking of the hobbies that you do, wrapping it into an LLC, and when you start an LLC, like in Michigan, it just takes like 10 minutes and $50 to be able to start an LLC. It's really, really easy. You know, don't go to these sources that tell you, hey, you know, pay us and we'll do all of the stuff for you. Look, if you're a real business person, you shouldn't be hiring other businesses to form your LLC and form your operating agreements, right? Because you need to know how that stuff actually works. All of this stuff, like pay for this, you know, who is it? Mark Cuban, the Shark Tank guy, you know. He has a commercial out there. I forget the name of the company that it's for, but they're for like paying them, and they'll start your LLC for you. They'll do all of the legal paperwork, which it's not a lot. You just got to do your own research. You should be understanding how your business actually is formed, what is involved in on the inside of the business, like the inner workings of how that business will function. You should know for future things too. If you were to bring in a business partner, how do you bring them into your business? Are they required to make a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 investment? If they do make such an investment, do they get a certain percentage of the company? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? These things you should be fully aware of, and you shouldn't be hiring other businesses to form your LLC. It's a very easy process. Sally, what's up, Sally? Thanks for joining the stream. We're out here exposing our channel, getting some exposure from you guys, and we're really trying to just get to know the audience. We're here to talk about business. We're here to talk about any current events you can think of. You know, there's a lot of important stuff out there. I mean, it's not really a political channel, but there are some things we'll talk about, you know. All of these comments and all of the likes and subscribes so far, you guys have been awesome. Yeah, this is my second live stream ever, and yesterday was my first one, and I had so much fun yesterday, talking with everybody and feeling like I'm kind of introducing myself to people. I literally have over 100 videos I've made, and we're still on our road on the way to 500 subscribers, and it's been going live has been so much more fun though. It's pretty cool. There's one thing I mentioned yesterday too that I would like to mention here, and because it's a really, really good piece of advice, and you can apply it to multiple areas of your life. And one of those things is, if something happens once, it may never happen again. But if something happens twice, it is sure to happen a third time. So look at your life. And if you don't want something to continue, you should choose to not do that thing again. And if you've already done it twice, you should highly consider making a real change in yourself if you don't want to see stuff like that expand in your life. But on the better things, we were talking about earlier how you could create or come up with your own ideas for a business. And a big part of that is learning or understanding what hobbies you already have. That's one of the best ways. Some of the most of the self-made millionaires out there right now have formed their business around something they just simply like to do. So you look at a hobby, you wrap it in an LLC. Here in Michigan, it takes 50 bucks. It takes 50 bucks to start an LLC. You write up an operating agreement. You know, it's like the structure of your business. And you will get your EIN from the IRS. IRS.gov, I believe, is the website you go to. And it's really, really easy. Just do your research, you know, and get down to the details of how your business is going to operate. It'll help out a lot, and it's because it's thinking long term. You can be a sole proprietor just kind of doing this stuff, whatever you might want to do, even like junk haul like myself. You can be sole proprietor, but if you're thinking long term, you want to get that LLC on your belt, and you want to get that EIN so you can get that business checking account, because that'll help you out a lot too. When you're able to separate yourself from what you're doing, business life and personal life, it's much easier on you. It'll look much better on paper, and for the customers too, because now you have I've had a lot of customers ask me, oh, okay, where's your business located? And you know, I did end up buying a small little property eventually, but my business address was my personal address. So I would have to tell customers, well, my business address is actually my personal residence, which isn't uncommon by any means. It might look slightly unprofessional, right? And in that part, I didn't exactly like about it, but there's also online addresses you can use. And that was something that I learned along the way. Was there's sites out there that you can pay, and you can have like a virtual address where mail is sent to for the business, and you can have your business address is a virtual address. So that's a key thing to keep in mind too, is the virtual addresses for your business instead of using a personal residence, especially, you know, maybe considering where you live, or like, for instance, I'm in an apartment. That's probably pretty apparent out here in the beautiful Michigan. I think it's probably like 70 something degrees right now. It feels really good. Got this sun on my back. But what's up, you guys? Let me hear from you. What kind of business ventures have you guys been on? Have you guys started your own business before? And don't forget, you guys, like the video, subscribe. You guys have been awesome. Leave a comment down below. Let everybody know you're here. Say what's up. This is our second live stream ever. We had our first one yesterday. It's been a ton of fun. You guys have been great. All the comments, the likes, the subscribes. It's been a lot of fun. And we're on our road. We're on the way to 500 subscribers. So let's get there, you know. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about. We own two businesses, and I'm referring to myself as we. And you know, and there's been a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot that we can learn from. I did educate myself pretty heavily before starting my own business, and it took years. It took years to get myself educated. So ask away, ask questions. I know a lot about business. I know a lot about philosophy, and you know, we're on the road to 500. Let's get to 500. It's been a long road for sure. But you guys have been great. I love this. And I was also able to figure out, like, to do these green screens and stuff. I don't have any more photos uploaded from previous videos. This is kind of funny, though. Death of the liberal class. Oh, geez. I suppose we can leave that on there for a minute. Gain some attention. Death of the liberal class. I haven't actually read the book, so probably a little silly on my end. I'm just messing with these settings is what I'm doing. Hey, Pomegranate. What's up, buddy? I seen you yesterday, didn't I? Yeah, we're on here again, trying to gain some more exposure. It was a lot of fun yesterday, tell you what. Seeing all the people coming in and out, liking, subscribing, commenting. Your guys' comments have been really good. Yesterday, a lot of people asked some really good questions. So it's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm kind of just throwing stuff up there just to, I guess gain some attention, right? I did the same thing too yesterday a little bit. But when I add the green screen, I get all fuzzy, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, that's still the same. You guys have been awesome, though. All the likes, all the subscribes. I mean, you guys sticking around, commenting. Being on live stream is way more different than just creating content. Because when you create content, you can obviously take your time with what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, what you're going to do. And I don't spend too much time thinking of a video per se, but I do spend a lot of time editing. So, different hat today. USA, baby. I picked it up at some store during 4th of July. It wasn't USA so on purpose because, it was the 4th of July and I was at a convenience store and I needed a hat. Because the one you seen yesterday, the Friends one, that one's like 2 or 3 years old or something like that. Pretty old. I see some hearts going in there for the USA. Yeah, baby. Yeah, buddy. No, hey, Pomegranate. No, cool, man. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for sticking around, leaving a comment. You guys have been super, super cordially inviting and social for me. It's been a lot of fun to get to know everybody on here. As I mentioned before, this is the second live stream ever for this channel, and my second live stream ever just in general. And because it's a lot different than just creating content and stuff. So, but I figured, I seen this guy wearing a toilet around his head and stuff, and I'm like, dude, if people are watching him, I gotta be able to have stuff to say. I wouldn't say I'm a boring person, but I'm definitely laid back and stuff. But I know a lot of stuff. I know a lot about business. I know a lot about philosophy. There's a lot of knowledge in here that I'd really like to get out, and it's somewhat hard to just, here, let's write a book. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Everything's on the table pretty much. And when everything's on the table, all of a sudden now you don't want to do anything. So, for starters, we're just going to do a live stream. I want to get to know the audience, see what you guys like, see what you guys might want to talk about, and we can talk about anything. I have my handy dandy second phone with me just in case we need to reference some stuff, and or cite some sources in case I might be wrong about some things, but I'm probably not. I do have a lot of education in business, and a lot of it's self-education, and there's a lot of seminars on YouTube. There's a lot of papers on the web you can find, and you kind of also have to do your own research and to get into nitty-gritty details. And some things on the web aren't exactly as truthful, and sometimes they only tell a part of the truth. So you got to be diligent in your research. And there's also, back in the day, they ended it in 2017. But Apple, the company, had an app called iTunes U. And it wasn't iTunes, it was iTunes U. And this was a strictly an education platform, and it was a study to see how people responded to free education. And I kid you not, you could get on there, you could watch any teacher teach pretty much from any school, and I shouldn't say any teacher. You could look up any curriculum you wanted to, and half of the stuff would be audio recordings, and half of the stuff you would be watching the teacher teach in the class with the students. You could go through their exams and actually do them yourself, and it was a very, very interesting thing to. And I looked up a ton about business, and I even started looking stuff up in Harvard Law. And imagine Apple having an app that you could watch the professor teach, and he's teaching Harvard Law, and you're just some regular person. This is in a way of where technology is going in general, but Apple no longer serves the app anymore. I believe they either ended it or started it in 2017, and it only lasted for a couple years at most. It wasn't a very long time. And so I got a lot of self-education from that too. So you're talking, there was, business administration, of course, is a very vague term too, because that could include a lot of things. But you have to get into accounting a little bit. I didn't do too much into accounting, but I definitely got the basics down. And I mainly got the basics from a book called The Personal MBA. I forget the name of the person. I want to say it was Josh something, but the book was called The Personal MBA, and it was a very, very good and insightful, knowledgeable book. Pretty much the guy's background, he had gotten an MBA, spent X amount of years to get it, spent X amount of money to get it, and realized like, oh, you could really sum up a lot of this stuff into and give somebody a really good rundown of what it all is. So, and you wouldn't have to pay $100,000, spend 8 years of your life to get an MBA when you can read this book and spend $25 and know a lot about business, being a master in business, right? And so there's also a part of where the education comes from. A lot of it is also in sales. Sales, I wouldn't say you necessarily have to be good at sales, because a good product can sell itself. Good quality work will speak for itself. But you gotta know how to take a no. And you gotta know when to give up, and you gotta know when to keep trying. For salesmen, no should be used like your fuel. It just means you're that much closer to a yes. I've had people tell me my price doesn't work out for them, when in my mind I'm like one of the cheapest around, and not because of quality, it's just because I'm just doing it myself. So being one of the cheapest around, I already know like, okay, well, it's probably not about the money. They might not be able to afford it, but maybe it's the way I'm saying something. Maybe it's the way I approach the call, because every call is just a little bit different. I like to say roughly the same things every time. You kind of get to the same, the same outcome that way. But I've definitely, I've had just as many, if not more, I guess I should say definitely more people say no than say yes. It's just, it's how you expose people to your business, your product, yourself, whatever it is that you're doing. Exposure is good, okay? If you just had a sign out in your yard that says, Lisa's Nail Salon, it doesn't matter that people aren't stopping in the moment you start putting the sign out there. People are driving by that every single day. You're putting the impression into their brain, okay? It's all about the subconscious mind. And then, now with the subconscious mind, you can get into marketing, right? And these marketing tactics these companies use nowadays are so in tune with our emotions that, people will be a diehard brand, will be diehards over a brand, and like, oh no, I only use Men's Degree deodorant type of thing. I only use Gillette razors or something. People become brand, like they get really, really used to a brand. They'll be diehards over it. So people should be that way about you. You know, when you walk up to somebody, statistically, they're going to tell about 8 people about you. And whether it was a product or service they just had, and if you can leave a good impression, they're going to say good things. You want people to be saying good things about you. When you come across somebody, even if it's for 10 seconds out in the middle of nowhere, the person came across you for a reason. And when they walk away, they should have something nice to say about you. And you should make sure of it. You should always be generous to people. We need more generosity out in this world. You know, as far as I'm concerned, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, I see just people getting upset all the time out in traffic, out just in the world, and about stupid stuff. People say this a lot. They'll say, well, I feel that I was disrespected. So, you don't need everybody's respect. You know, you guys, listen, let me say that again, okay? You don't need everybody's respect. You gotta do you. Oh, somebody said something you didn't like. Oh, well, who cares? We're all human, okay? Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're ignorant. It doesn't matter. Making the situation worse than what it is, expanding on negative things, isn't going to do you any good. You don't need everybody's respect to become successful, okay? And I'm not saying I'm any definition of success. I'm learning and growing right along with everybody else. You know, as you can see, I live in an apartment. I'm in Michigan. I mean, it's actually a decent area for sure. I have a wife, 3 daughters. My wife is from Pakistan. We've been together. We just had our 6-year anniversary. And we've been together, well, we've known each other for 7 years. And it's been a long, long road. You know, a long road. It wasn't until 2 years ago that I decided to run my own business because money was stacking up. It was coming in. Got to do something with it. If you're just sitting on the money, I mean, it's good to keep building value, but you should, at some point, your money needs to work for you. You know, the stock market is good. It is okay. And it is somewhat safe. Okay? I'm not just going to say that there's not a risk involved, because any investment has a risk. Even investments with your time can be risky. You know, your time is your most valuable asset. And the most rude and disrespectful thing you could actually do to somebody is waste their time. Don't be going around wasting other people's time. It's not a good character trait or attribute. Nobody likes it. Okay? So now that we talked about what I wanted to talk about, I'm just kidding. Now, you guys have been cool. Thanks for staying tuned. Everybody leaving comments, likes, and subscribes. It's been awesome. This is our second live stream, as some of you may know, if you've popped in from yesterday, but as probably most of you don't know, because I've seen literally like 96% of you that watch the videos aren't subscribed. No, I'm just kidding. No, all of you guys are appreciated, even if you're just stopping by momentarily. It's super cool to be able to do a live stream. Like I said, it's my second one ever. I'm not 100% sure what to expect. We're really trying to get some exposure to the channel. We want people to see what we're doing. You know, I started the channel a few years ago doing video game editing and videos. And I was going to try and expand on that. And then all of a sudden I decided to just start my own business. And I rerouted the channel into more business-like stuff and with my face, because I felt like using my face so people could associate me with future things, I suppose. You know, like hypothetically in a perfect world, if I have 1 million subscribers, they can associate my name or my face, with a product or a thing in the future, and it'll be a lot easier for marketing and stuff like that. So when I started the business, I kind of wanted to get my face out there just so people could start associating me with what I'm talking about. And now we're on the road to 500 subscribers. And a big reason we want to reach 500 subscribers is because when you reach that threshold and And with YouTube, they allow you to really give other incentives and other perks for viewers like yourselves. And we want to reach that point. You know, we want to be able to start doing better stuff for the viewers, for the audience. We I mean, it's all about you guys, you know. All of the anything created, anything talked about, we want it to be for you guys. I want it to be valuable stuff. I mean, I've seen a video on here of this guy like wearing a toilet on his head or something, and it's like, what what am I doing? Okay, like this guy, thousands of people watching somebody, and he's wearing a toilet on his head, and it's like, is that what people are interested in? And you know, I kind of beg to differ. I think people are smarter and more intelligent than what they think. What's inside of Elon Musk and what was inside of Einstein and what was inside of the first human that ever lived, humans like us, is inside of everybody. You know, that genius, that spark, that strength, the endurance, it's all inside of all of us. And we got to bring it out of ourselves. You guys, you know, I see humanity as one of the most, or if not the most, aside from the universe itself, as being one of the most beautiful creations God could ever create. You know, we have consciousness, and it's such a gift, and it's weird, right? It's all so weird, and it can seem so random. Uh, but I would, the way I see it, the universe is experiencing itself through us, through consciousness, and God created everything. Everybody's looking under a microscope, acting like they're going to prove God doesn't exist, and you're just looking at his work. You know, it's really simple. We're all studying, observing, and, you know, one of the craziest theories out there, but maybe logical, is everything exists because we're actually consciously observing it, and how consciousness can be intertwined just with the fabric of reality itself. I mean, it's all just super crazy and amazing. You know, for people that look around, you know, if you don't believe in God, when I look around, I feel so grateful, right? Thankful, grateful, happy to be alive, happy to be able to experience this even for a minute, let alone, you know, hopefully a long, well-lived 80 something years, right? If you're lucky. Time is our most precious commodity. People waste it. People waste it like they got so much to spend. People act like nothing can happen. You know, and a huge earthquake just happened in Russia, right? Just off the coast of Russia. I mean, I haven't seen too much news about what's happened in Russia, but you know it messed some stuff up, right? And they're in the middle of a war. The people of Russia didn't ask for that. Things just happen. You know, I seen this post the other day, and this guy was like, if it wasn't for truckers, if truckers stopped working for like a week, we would run super low on our resources. And it's like, no, we would be worse than that. It would take about 3 days. If all of the truckers stopped, it would only take about 3 days to actually start running super extremely low on resources. Only 3 days. So if you take a catastrophe, a natural disaster, let's say a volcano eruption, and it does what's happened in the past and pretty much block out the sun and make animal life and plant life almost inhospitable, and it's gonna hurt our food supply. We have 7 billion people on this planet. You know what's gonna happen? Not just millions of people are gonna die, or not even just hundreds of millions. Billions of people will die. Okay, these natural disasters we face as humanity collectively. There is no brown, white, tan, whatever in the mix of natural disasters or anything like that. We're humanity, you know? Something that's inside of us is inside of everything else on this planet, let alone the other people. We owe it to ourselves to be grateful for what we have, right? I mean, I live in an apartment. Away from society in a way. I don't get any city noise or anything like that. I'm surrounded by woods. It's super quiet. I was getting a call. It might have interrupted the video. Sorry about that. But what's up, everybody? Thanks anybody who's joining in right now. We're gaining some more exposure to the channel. This is our second live stream, my second one ever in general, and we need to gain some exposure to the channel. We're on the way to 500 subscribers, and we're here to talk about business. We're here to talk about likes, dislikes, how you could create a business idea yourself. We're here to talk about current events. We can talk politics. You know, it does kind of suck to associate yourself with politics because a lot of the political drama can be somewhat brutal, but important topics and should be discussed. So, you know, I think if something's important enough, everybody should be willing to discuss or debate on important issues. So what's up, you guys? Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you're liking the live stream. We're 40 minutes in now. It will probably be on here for another 20 minutes or so. I don't know how long it'll go. It'll depend on the flow of everything. But it's been a lot of fun. You guys have been great. The viewers, you guys, it's been awesome. All the likes, all the subscribes, you guys have made it a lot of fun to get on here and actually, like, I feel like I'm almost introducing myself to you guys and actually getting to know you in a way. And it's in a way that it wouldn't have been able to be just by creating content and just editing it and putting it on YouTube itself. So let me know what you guys think. Say what's up in the chat. Let me know if you guys have started your own business before. Let me know what you guys think about today's political climate, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. Let me know if you heard anything about the earthquakes. You know, I haven't heard too much come out of Russia anyways. There's a lot that can be discussed. Here, let's see. Let me pull something up. Now, this might ruffle some feathers, okay? All right, don't hate me too much. Let's see. Democracy is extremely dangerous to our democracy. USA. I think it's funny, okay? Death of the liberal class. Don't hate so much, you guys. So liberal of you. I will leave it on there to get some attention, you know what I mean? I don't like how it makes me look like Foggy, though, if I put on a green screen. And I haven't actually read the book. If you guys have, let me know. I'm sure it's decent. What's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for sticking around. We got a lot of likes, a lot of comments. It's been a lot of fun, for sure. You guys are the ones that make it happen. It's been so cool talking with you guys. We've been getting a lot of viewers in here. Yesterday was a lot of fun too. We got a bunch of comments. We're here to gain exposure to our channel. We're here to talk business, talk current events, politics, likes, dislikes, dinosaurs. Like Dino right here. He's got a lot to say, man. Got a lot of good stuff to say. Got a lot of good knowledge. We can talk about if the world is flat or not. It's up to you guys. What's good, everybody? How you doing? How you doing today? What's up? Drop a like, drop a subscribe. Drop a subscribe. No, you guys have been awesome for sure. I think I'm gonna take a break for a moment, like a couple minutes. Hit the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about this picture, okay? Okay? Let me know if you read it. Let me know what you think. And we'll talk about it in like 2 minutes. I was talking and it was muted. What are your guys' thoughts on this here? Huh? I'm not a grown man that plays with toys. I'm a grown man that likes dinosaurs. It's my kid's toy. I actually had it in the frame with the video, but because I was just gonna have it as like an item sitting there, but I needed to change my angle a little bit. What's up, guys? We're talking about a lot today. Come on. So for starters, we're here to talk about business, right? And a little bit of my background, as I've mentioned before, there's a lot of education that went into it beforehand. You need to understand the field of business and what you're getting into first. It's really important to do your research, know the ins and outs of your industry, and you want to do that kind of stuff before you start the business. So find a hobby, something that you really like to do. Wrap it up into an LLC. When you wrap it up into the LLC, you get all of the details within the business planned, laid out. Let's see. Oh yeah, I know. What's up, guys? This kind of stuff's gotta stop. This has gotta stop. Here, 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. My mother called. Maybe I should raise this a little bit. There we go. What's up? You guys, we're here. We're here to talk about anything. You guys want to talk about business? You want to talk about politics? You want to talk about how to start a business? How to come up with an idea? We've talked about a lot here already today. We're going on an hour. Let's get those few extra in here so we can, we're on the road to 500. Trying to get to 500. It's super cool to see everybody. What's up? How you doing? A lot of comments out here. A Pomegranate, I seen them yesterday. Super cool to see again. It's always fun to see familiar faces. Block Strike, that's super cool. There's one name in here I can't even pronounce. Monkey Plays, what's up again? Yeah, super cool. This has been a lot of fun. This is the second live stream ever. And you guys make it very entertaining for me as well. So let me know what you think, you guys. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think. What are some current topics or events that are on your mind? Do you guys need any help with starting a business? Any specific question you might have? Drop a question in the comment. Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, look at all that hair. See, this is the weirdest part about making content in general. You're always looking at yourself. Like, I'm talking to you guys, but I'm looking at me. Now, what's up? How you doing? It's cool to see familiar faces. People coming back, saying what's up again. Very cool. Yeah, earlier, yesterday, I was wearing a friend's hat. Today, I'm wearing USA. I bought it during 4th of July because I needed a hat. It's cool, though. We like it. We like it. Seeing all the familiar faces and stuff is super cool. Nice to see you guys. What's up? A Pomegranate, they were in here yesterday. So that's super cool. Now, if you want to hear business, you want to talk about business, man, let me tell you about business. Let me know what you guys want to know, okay? Let me know what you want to know about business. Any question you can think of. We know a lot about business. We know a lot about philosophy. Any current events you might want to talk about, go ahead. Go ahead. List it down in the comments below. Let me know. You guys have been super awesome. A bunch of comments, bunch of likes, bunch of subscribes. I'm having a lot of fun with it. You guys are a lot of fun. We'll go back to that for a minute. What's up, guys? We're here in the middle of Michigan. Nice and quiet, peaceful, most importantly. But super cool to see all the familiar faces. We've reached that hour threshold, so I think we're gonna get off here and It was super cool. Thanks to all of you who've shown support, whether you've commented, stuck around for a minute, liked the video, or whatever else you may have done towards the channel is highly appreciated. And until next time, peace, guys.